Welcome to Agent Rising Real Estate School and Training Center, Unit 13, Real Estate Taxes and Other Liens. So when I was studying this class, right, I thought that word was lion. No, actually, my sister thought it was lion. She used to say, okay, we're studying. What's a lion? So we've come a long way, all right? So again, we're going to go, and when you are studying this, you're going to pull all your things out. All right, real estate taxes and other liens. The ownership of real estate is subject to certain obligations imposed by state and local governments, usually in the form of taxes that become a lien against the property. Where's my Sonia? You don't have your laptop with you today?
I do.
We got a double property here.
Oh.
No, I'll fix it.
Okay, come on.
Worry
Fix
about
it.
class.
All right,
What
thank
unit?
you. We got two properties.
13?
We actually had a double word in the other one too. Does anybody remember what that word was?
Consider.
Who said that? Woo! You get the prize. Oh, are there two in here? Check out.
Awesome.
This is for $10 also.
All right, how about that?
There's other ones in there for more.
Consider answering questions.
Yes, exactly. Help me out with my little mental lapses. Okay, so property. A creditor or a court can also place a claim against the property to secure payment for a debt or other obligation. And that example that you were just telling is a great example of that.
Well, he didn't have a lien though. He just got notice of the 40,000.
Oh, okay.
There was no lien on it.
Oh, okay. There's no lien on the property.
You don't know if he was making it up or what.
Well, a lot of times what will happen is when, I'm the person who put the roof on, and you haven't paid me, and then all of a sudden I see a for sale sign go up on your house, and I'm like, that little, bugger did not pay me. I'm going to put a lien on his house. So a lot of times, when you're checking your paperwork and you're seeing that there are no liens, those liens may come between that, that in that period of time. So there have been many surprises in the course of times about liens going on properties. So just beware. You should, part of your checklist with people when you're meeting with them in the listing agreement is asking them if there's any outstanding either balances on things like that, or liens is one thing, but they kind of know. They kind of know if they have today. Which is, are you aware? Can you just? Is he a realtor?
No, he didn't. He just called on the phone.
You just called just a
Yeah.
second ago.
Okay.
Ask
Yeah.
one of the girls in the back.
Yeah, see if somebody can cover that for me. See, never book appointments when you're driving. Sure, I'll be there at 11. Oh my God. So anyway, what? A showing, yeah. No, it's on Clark Street. I think it's another agent, so I can give them. I'm not sure actually. What?
Did you reactivate it?
Yes, we're going on, I think, 14 months. What? I could have had a couple of babies by now in that house. That was where I was just asking me because I love babies. She said, "You gonna have any more?" I'm like, seriously? If you see me, I can't even like.
Serious.
No, she was not serious. No, she knows that. We have okay. Let's get back on track. Okay, chapter objectives. Describe what?
Editing.
I know, editing. Edit here. All right. Describe the characteristics of statutory and equitable liens. Describe and explain general taxes and special assessment taxes. Describe and explain real property liens, including judgment and taxes, as well as the protection and limitations they offer to respective parties. Okay, here we go. We're getting over the hump. We're over the hump. Remember that. We are over the hump. We're sliding our way home, okay? So the key terms to know in this and to record is ad valorem tax, assessment equalization factor, equitable lien, equitable right of redemption, estate tax, general lien, general real estate tax, inheritance tax, involuntary lien, judgment, junior lien, lien, mechanics lien, mill, mortgage lien, special assessment, specific lien, statutory lien, statutory right of redemption, subordination agreement, tax lien, tax sale, vendor's lien, voluntary lien, and writ of attachment. So when you see a lot of words like that, one of the things I just want you to strategically do is go open your candidate's handbook and find out how many questions are going to be on this chapter, okay? So sometimes I look at that, I'm going like, oh my God, you know, but let's just get an idea about what they say about that. Okay, so they are,
Is that in the back? Yeah.
okay, so I'm looking under, there you go, that right there. Financing components, FHA, settlement.
Page.
I'm on page, in the middle of the book on page 02.
It's financing and transaction settlement is on page 4 in the middle, kind of, on the left
Okay.
side. It says 9, if I'm reading the right thing. It says
Okay,
9.
let's take a peek. Financing,
The transaction and settlement?
okay, so that's for the brokers. But also,
Oh.
well, this says 8 questions or 9 questions, but what I'm looking for is where the liens are. I don't see the word liens anywhere. Under the first part, under real property, it talks about transfer, alienation of title. Okay, so there might be some in there. But I guess what I'm saying is that it doesn't seem like there's a ton of questions on this chapter. So while there's a ton of, I want you to understand it, I want you to know it. There will be a question that says, what, all liens are encumbrances, but all encumbrances are not liens? That will be a question, right? So when we talked about that, that's where one of the places it would come in. Okay, liens are charges or claims against the property to enforce payment of money. Ah, here we go. All liens are encumbrances, but not all encumbrances are liens. What are some other encumbrances? Does anyone remember? Maybe easements, right?
Yeah.
Easements. Any other encumbrances that you can think of? Restrictions, right? That covenants. Those are all. Yep. Maybe the water bill. Maybe the bill's coming in. Okay. So types of liens are voluntary, involuntary, statutory, equitable, general, and specific. Okay. So the effect of a lien on a title is they need to release the lien, and the priority of liens and the subordination agreements. Okay. So when that money comes in, so when that seller gets their money, the first thing gets paid is what? The government, right? Taxes and anything that's owed to mortgage. Yeah. Then next comes the mortgage, and then after that would come, if there's a second mortgage, there'd be a subordination agreement probably in place, and the second mortgage would be paid. And then after that would be all of those liens that I was just talking about, that roofer that put a lien against the property, any of those kind of things. And they are paid off in the order that they were recorded at the registry. And I know I said this the other day, I'm just reiterating myself. Okay, so ad valorem taxes are general taxes, those are real estate tax liens. Okay, so one of the things that sometimes comes up is you've got those taxes. Now, in a town that has a betterment, okay, when that shows up as a lien on the property, like the water betterment or the sewer betterment, okay? And so, anyway, so that would be one of the things. Okay, special assessments or improvements, okay, equalization. What's it say for equalization for the definition there?
Says in some jurisdictions, when it's necessary to correct inequalities in statewide tax assessment, an assessment equalization factor is used to achieve uniformity. An equalization factor may be applied to raise or lower assessments in a particular district. The assessed value of each property in the area is multiplied by the equalization factor, and the tax rate is then applied to the equalized assessment.
Okay, so that's what equalization is. We have tax rates, okay, tax bills, and then the statutory right of redemption. And would you like to read to me what the statutory right of redemption has been?
Sure.
I'm zoned out. Where is that?
I'm looking under the taxes, under the special assessments. We have equalization,
Last paragraph. on
tax
the
rates,
bottom.
tax bills, and the statutory right of redemption.
227.
Third paragraph up from the bottom.
Thank you. Real estate taxes must be valid to be, yeah, is that it?
No? Third up from bottom.
If the property is
227.
not redeemed within,
The holder of the certificate.
Oh, yeah.
Holder of
There's
certificate.
no statutory. The holder of the certificate of
It might not
sale
be you.
may be required to wait for a while after the sale to receive the deed to the property. Some states grant a period of redemption after the tax sale. In this case, the defaulted owner or the defaulted owner's creditors may redeem the property by paying the amount collected at the tax sale plus interest and charges, including any taxes levied since the sale. This is known as statutory right of redemption. If the property is not redeemed within a statutory period, the certificate holder can apply for a tax deed, sheriff's deed. The quality of the title conveyed by a tax deed varies from state to state.
Okay. Guys got that? Okay. This probably would be a question where they would just list these things out as examples of special assessments. Okay, they really wouldn't get into that much. Okay, other liens on real property. We have the mortgage lien and the mechanics lien, which we talked about, that would be the roofer. A judgment, if there was child support that hadn't been paid, or there was some sort of judgment like that, and they put that against the house. A lease pending is litigation pending, right, on the house. A writ of attachment, estate and inheritance tax liens, liens for municipal utilities, bail bond lien, corporate franchise tax lien, and IRS tax liens. So there's a lot of different liens that could be on a property. So tomorrow, if all goes well, you guys may go and find out firsthand, how to find what's on a property, like if the type, like what to look for. Okay, that's one of our special exercises if you get through our stuff, so you can actually kind of see it for yourself. All right, kind of fun. Oh, after this unit. Okay, so read the key point review, blah blah blah, and you're good. Okay, so a couple questions. Which of the liens affects all real property and personal property of a debtor?
General.
I'm going to say general because it says all, right? That'd be my guess. And it'd be right, okay? So when it says all, doesn't sound specific, right? It sounds general. Which of the following is classified as a general lien? Who else wants to guess? I'm gonna guess real estate taxes because everybody gets it. Judgment. Who said judgment? Who's that? One of you guys are gonna have to split this. Here comes the prize. What? You said judgment?
Oh,
Both of you did?
no, I said bail bond and judgment. I wasn't sure.
Okay, so then it goes to Michelle.
Yes.
Oh, that was a $10 one. That was my last $10 one.
Okay, so now come on.
I'll start answering.
Now come on.
Now I've raised my hand.
Okay. One more. Which tax targets homeowners in particular?
Real estate?
Mine's gonna be C.
C.
I think C. C. Okay. Phew. Maybe I will pass this test after all. Okay. All right. So you guys are going to do these chapters on your own. So has anyone done this chapter yet? This unit? No.
No.
Are you guys finding like that day in between it was really not enough time to catch up?
Yeah. It was good brain.
Who even did it? Let's be honest. Oh my God. Okay, we're gonna go right into 6, which is talking about the same thing.
In the Massachusetts.
Yeah. So the red 6.
page 87.
Okay. So you can just
Yeah,
keep it
I'm
going.
keeping
Just
it.
keep it going.
Yep.
This is a quick one.
I'll get you something nice.
What's that? Oh, the coffee?
Yeah.
Have some water then.
Nice bottom of lemon. It's nice and cold.
You like that? We had this water with lemon discussion this morning. I drink my water with lemon hot, and she drinks hers cold. How do you guys drink your water with lemon?
It's weird that she does it hot.
Pretty warm.
I drink it
Or like
cold.
stomach ache.
Hot is actually
Warm water
better.
with lemon, I think it's Oh, just really? for your stomach.
Well, because
Yeah.
it helps with your digestion.
Right. That's weird.
So don't you wish you were a fly on our wall at home? Okay. So real estate taxes and other liens. So this is the Massachusetts. So this is the blanket over what we just read, right? Okay. Oh my God. All right. Let's go. Each town and city in the state is responsible for raising revenue through property tax. Okay. I'm just going to talk about this. All right. What it's talking about is how does a town assess the real estate property taxes? And essentially what a town does is they figure out how much it's going to cost them to run that town. And then they go to all of the houses that are in their town and they kind of divide up that bill and then they assess the houses accordingly. Okay, they have a tax rate that they have that the town has set. Okay, and then they figure it out from there. So a lot of times when you're in real estate, what somebody will say to you is, you know, you have this house listed at $500,000. It's assessed at $400. What gives? So what is your answer going to be? Let me explain the definition of what an assessment is, what appraised value is, and what market value is. Right? So that would be those three determining factors and what those numbers are. And I always say they're all pieces of the puzzle that comes up with a total package here. But an assessment is basically the town's way of paying their bills. Okay? So this kind of talks about it, and
it's done by a state formula, isn't it? It's all the
done
towns follow.
It's done by a system.
Yeah.
And so it goes here, all properties within the community is assessed at the same time, even though they're not evaluated at the same time. Like every house in the area is not evaluated every year. It goes, I think, like on a 3-year cycle where they go like whatever the areas are and they go through the town. They're assessed at 100% of its full cash value or fair market value. Then the amount of the community's budget will be raised from real estate taxes is divided by the total number of the assessed values. And the result is the amount of the budget on each dollar's worth of property will bear, generally quoted as X dollars per $1,000 of assessed value. Okay, so that is something to know. Okay, Proposition 2.5 is a title given to an initiative petition adopted by the voters of the Commonwealth of Mass in 1980. The primary feature of Proposition 2.5 relates to the total amount of the property taxes a city or town can raise each year. The increase in the property taxes cannot exceed more than 2.5% of the full cash value of all taxable property in that city or town, and cannot increase for more than 2.5% from year to year. Because the cap may adversely affect tax-dependent bodies such as schools and emergency services, individual communities may vote to override it. Okay, so you guys have heard of Proposition 2.5, right? And most towns have had some override votes over the course of time. Westport is a community that will not override Proposition 2.5 for their schools. So when you have seen when you hear in the communities about different school systems and whatever, one of the things that comes up about Westport is they will not override this. So that's just a little feather for your cap. Unpaid real estate taxes. Okay, Mass law provides that taxes on real estate become a lien on the property as of January 1st in the year of the assessment. The lien for unpaid real estate taxes consists of the real estate taxes owed as well as fees and charges. A lien for unpaid real estate taxes is superior to other liens, including prior mortgages, because tax lien attaches to the property as a whole. Okay, so we know that, right? But we just talked about that, the order in which things get paid. The government gets paid first. Mass General Law, Chapter 60 and 65, real estate taxes that remain unpaid 2 years after they are due may be collected by a tax sale of the property. Because the owner has 6 months from the date of the tax sale to redeem the property, called the statutory right of redemption, the purchaser of a tax deed cannot be assured of acquiring title. If no redemption is made within 1 year from the date of the tax sale, the new owner can bring an action against in land court to register the title and confirm ownership. Land court registration and the towing system are described in Chapter 9. Okay, so I guess the message and the takeaway here, right, is what? That there's a system for unpaid taxes. Okay, and when you are looking online, if we get to that, if we do that registry thing, tax title is TT normally. Okay, which means that it might even be tax taken. Actually, I think it's tax taken, not tax title, and that they're in that process. Okay, a lot of times the taxes due are significantly lower than the value of the property. So, you'll have like some investors that will come to you and go like, let's go find some like tax title and let's go get some houses for like $20,000. It never works that way, okay? All right, municipal liens. Okay, municipal lien certificate indicates unpaid real estate taxes, water charges, betterments, assessments, and other unpaid or current financial obligations levied by the town against the land. Mass General Law, Chapter 60, subsection 23, requires that the tax collector's office to furnish, upon written request, a completed municipal lien certificate to the applicant within 10 days, excluding Saturdays and Sundays and holidays. MLCs, which is what they're called to us, MLCs, are recorded along with the deed and mortgage. Municipal liens on a property may be ascertained by checking the records at the Registry of Deed, okay, and securing a municipal lien certificate from the local taxes collector. So often, as part of the closing attorney's responsibilities is to get that, what they call the MLC, okay? You can also get an MLC on something, and again, if it's a cash transaction, someone's gonna get the MLC. You wanna make sure that when it transfers title, that the seller does not owe any money to the town, and that's what this certifies, okay? Mechanics liens, we talked about this a little bit. The Massachusetts Mechanics Lien Statute extends mechanic liens protection to a broader range of persons, providing labor and materials. It gives statutory rights to persons or parties involved in the alteration, erection, repair, or removal of a building, structure, or other improvement to real property. Persons, parties, furnishings, materials, rental equipment, appliances, or equipment, and persons, parties providing construction management and general contractor services. Okay, so these are different places, people that can, in Massachusetts, can impose a mechanics lien. Okay, that's probably going to be a question on your Massachusetts part. Okay. Special assessments and betterments. A special assessment or betterment is a special property tax that is permitted when real property within a limited and determinable area receives a special advantage or benefit. A special assessment or betterment is a lien on the beneficial property. Common special assessments are water, sewer, sidewalks, and so on. Okay, so those are, as I said to you before, those are considered liens. However, most of the time they are not paid off at closing. They carry on to the next person in their tax bills. Okay? Title V betterments and condominium certificates and condominium super liens. So these are all right, I don't know the context of what they're going with this. The Title V betterment, who can reach me that? What are they saying? If you can just take a peek.
Most title transfers in Massachusetts now require a Title V inspection of private on-site sewage disposal systems. If the existing system is found to be deficient, the homeowner must repair or upgrade the system to meet environmental standards. In Massachusetts, if the private system cannot be inspected due to frozen ground, the inspection can be performed up to 6 months after the closing. Lenders will usually allow the closing, but may hold back some of the seller's funds, equal to the cost of replacing the system, in escrow pending the inspection results.
Okay, so you guys are actually, we have a Title V person coming here later today to talk with you guys. So I'll let him explain all that to you. So that is the part of the Title V. Here, a little present for you. These are some thank you cards. Thank you. And then condominium certificates and condominium super liens. We talked about that with the condominiums, right? You need to have a 6D certificate, which means that you don't owe, or that the current seller does not owe to the HOA fees. And then the super liens is where it becomes a superior lien, which means that it gets paid off before, after the taxes, but before the mortgage, right? Okay. Other tax credits and deductions. Tenant deduction, renewable energy source credit, and lead paint removal credit. So these are other things that are possibilities as far as this goes. All right, so beyond this unit, you're going to do all the things that you have done. Okay? Any questions? Let's do a couple. All right, property taxes are assessed and collected by the A. Every town and city raises revenue for a property tax to fund their budgets. Each, therefore, is responsible for assessing property owners and collecting the taxes. property in Massachusetts must be reassessed at I think it's
D.
D. All property within a community is assessed at the same time at 100% of its full cash value or fair market value. Now let's just say that they did this and the town did not need that much money per se.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, I know. It hasn't happened. I mean, I think when I started in real estate, they had that it was not at full assessment in a couple of the towns. I haven't seen that since, before the year 2000. Okay. If there is no redemption of the property, how long must a tax sale purchaser wait before starting action to obtain title to the land? You think C? I think B. B. Ha. If no redemption is made within 1 year from the date of the tax sale, the owner can start action to obtain title to the land.
How come, like, I have someone that bought a house from the town on a water lien.
Oh, you do?
But they, shortly after they purchased it, they remodeled it, and so that homeowner who lost it to the water lien didn't have a year.
They might not have used it a year.
Okay.
No, this is the statutory
Only
right of
tax?
redemption. This is
Right.
different. The statutory right of redemption. Let's go back to that. That's a good question. Okay. Real estate taxes that remain unpaid 2 years after they are due may be collected by a tax sale on the property. Okay, so when they did the TT that you would find in the registry, okay, because the owner has 6 months from that date to redeem the property, that's called the statutory right of redemption. So they must have not done that. And then that's when they would have had the tax sale. Okay? That's a good question. All right, so any other questions for this chapter or this unit?